after getting our new bed and sleeping on it for 2 nights in a row, we have really realized what we've been missing. Sleeping on this is glorious. It's a huge improvement from the old mattress we had. The biggest downside to this though is this mattress is a lot heavier than our old one. So when we go to lift the bed up, it's actually a lot heavier than the last one. So when you go to lift it up, it is really heavy. And I have to access the cat's food under here. We don't have the dog's food under here yet, but it's actually a big pain and really heavy, and I can't lift it very high. So we got our lift kit in the mail yesterday, and we are gonna go ahead and install it, and hopefully this is a lot easier to open. Over the last week, we've been unable to access this freely without normally the help of another person, and hopefully that the lift kit that we get helps improve that, and we don't have to ask another person for help in order to get under the bed storage.
So the kit I'm using for this is made by a company called Hatchlift, and their website is bedliftkit.com. I'll drop a link in the description. And this kit comes with basically everything you need. Instructions, of course. 2 90-pound 17-inch gas springs, which the pound rating on these and their size depends on how big your compartment is and whether it's a queen or a king size bed. But this is their small kit. Comes with all the brackets and hardware that you'll need. And it even comes with 2 boards that you will screw and glue to the underside of this board that the top brackets will mount to. So it's kind of neat that they include those. They don't include any boards that you need to support this side, which I'll have to cut my own because all this is a really thin piece of particle board basically. I'm gonna need to cut my own boards to reinforce that sidewall, but that's okay. You know, they don't know how tall yours is or what kind of room you have, so they can't really include any wood for that, but it's a really nice all-inclusive kit. So the instructions say that the top of this board needs to be at 39 inches from the floor of the RV, and I got stupid lucky and was able to find these scrap pieces of wood that were almost exactly 39 inches. So I'm just going to use them to prop up. Oh, you have to do it. Yeah. So I'm just going to use them to prop this up so that Jenny doesn't have to sit there and hold it the whole time I'm working on it, and yeah, that's perfect. So I need to mount this trapezoid shaped bracket to this board 17.5 inches back from this front plate, which I've already measured. So I'm gonna stick it right there. I have to pre-drill the holes though, drill some pilot holes for these 5/8 screws. They're a little too big to go in by themselves, so I'm gonna go ahead and drill those pilot holes, mark them and drill them. Now I can go ahead and put the screws in. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, except this time I'm going to use a larger pilot bit. The first one I used was too small on the wood. Just started to split on that side, so I'm going to bump up to a bigger pilot hole, and hopefully my wood doesn't split this time. Now I'm going to go and cut a 2x4 that's going to support this board right here, go in this slot right here for both sides of the bed, just to add some support to this bracket. Alright, I got my support boards made, so I'm gonna go ahead and stick these into place. I think they're gonna need a little persuasion too, so got the hammer. Made them nice and tight on purpose so that they would actually support this board. So I knew I'd have to hammer them into place. So I already made my first mistake. I didn't drill these brackets. I didn't screw these brackets in low enough for these holes to be able to be screwed into this support board. So I'm gonna have to pull them back out, drill new pilot holes, and screw them back in. Alright, and then the other side. Alright, fixed. Alright, now I'm going to attach these brackets to these two blocks of wood. Next, I'm supposed to install these gas springs onto the lower bracket and then stick them onto these upper brackets also and kind of, you know, find out where their fit is. Okay. Alright. And then instructions say to gonna put these into place and, you know, mark an outline of where they're at. I'm gonna kind of make sure my spring is, you know, at, you know, not like that or like that, but as straight as I can make it. I'm just kind of eyeballing it, and that looks pretty good right there. Okay, then we pop these brackets back off. This sucker doesn't want to come off. I'm afraid to pry too hard. I don't want to break it. Ah, here we go. Alright. Okay, and then we go ahead and drill these blocks in that specified location, or it would go like this. We're not going to glue them just yet. The instructions say to just screw them in and then reconnect them, make sure they operate as they're supposed to, and if everything's good, then you take it back off, glue it, and then screw it back on. If it doesn't operate correctly, like if it's still really hard to open, then you're supposed to adjust the location where you have it to either give the gas shock more leverage or less leverage if it opens to, if it opens with just a bump or something. So I'm going to drill these in from the top. So I need to measure out these marks I've made where I want these screws to go up, so I can mark up top. And then I'm going to have my beautiful assistant Jenny hold these blocks in as I drill down. Good? Sweet. Alright. Now we reconnect the springs to these brackets and then we test it to make sure that they work properly. Oh, there they go. Alright. Give her one more go. Alright, well, it closes, so that's a good sign. We're gonna bring the bed in and set it on there and make sure that the weight of the mattress will hold this down when it's closed, because right now, when you close it, if you let go, it just opens right back up. So hopefully the weight of the bed keeps it closed, or I'm gonna have to do some adjusting. So we brought the mattress back in here and we sat it down on it and everything worked perfectly. It went down nice and easily, and all we had to do to make it lift again was just kind of touch it and it went back up. So hopefully once we get all the sheets and our duvet on top of it, then it'll be heavy enough where you can't just like bump it, because then it might just open while we're driving down the road, but hopefully it's not that touchy once all the weight's back on. Also, we went ahead and put wood liquid nails between this board and then screwed them back down so it's screwed and glued nice and secure. And I wiped off the excess. There's a little more squirting out, so I may have to wipe it again, but I think it'll be fine. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and put the rest of these screws into these brackets and make it nice and permanent and call it a night. So this kit does have these through bolts that it wants you to secure the brackets through, probably just so it's not being held on only by screws. These through bolts probably just make everything more secure. So there are 2 holes that are shown in the instructions to put these through bolts through. So I just drilled a hole. I matched the bit to the size of the hole in these brackets and just drilled all the way through. And then I'll just slip these through and attach the supplied nylock nut to it also. It'll be good.
Alright, so David finished up the install of the springs, so I went ahead and I made the bed, and I put some things in the storage space under here. Look how easy this is to lift up with the bed now. One hand, and that thing is up. And look at everything I can get down there. Everything I can get to quickly now. I can get to the pet food, the dog and the cat, the rabbit's food, the rabbit's hay, all of our shoes, my washing machine, some of our camera equipment. Yeah, this is a well-used space, and I'm so glad it's so easy to get to, and it's easy to put down too. And it doesn't bounce around. We have noticed though something weird. When we go up and down the road, it might bounce up and down, kind of like that when we're driving, but neither one of us think it's a big deal. And this is going to be excellent, easy storage to get to, and it's big. So I'm really excited to be able to use it.
Mission accomplished?
Mission accomplished.
Up top. Butters, however, is underwhelmed with the gas spring install. She could not care less. Well, the project took 4 hours, probably longer than it might take someone that's done it before, a little more experienced, but I'm tired now. Sun's going down, so we're gonna enjoy the rest of our night with a well-deserved drink. We'll catch you guys later.
It's delicious.
Oh yeah, I know it is. I made it.